Hey Seekers, so this will be a reading, three separate readings, one for Aquarius, then one for Pisces, and then one for Aries. Um, Obviously, you're more than invited to watch all three if you have like other placements in these signs, cross-watching maybe, or you can skip to the sign you want to watch. See you. Okay, we're going to start with Aquarius though, working with the Rider-Waite Tarot. It is very common and very popular and really awesome, yet not to be confused with a so-called traditional tarot deck because they're just 100 years old. There are decks that are hundreds of years old. It's a common mistake that I hear a lot, and that's okay. We live, we learn. It's not traditional the right way. It's popular. It's awesome. I love it, but it's not traditional. Just saying. Aquarius Seeker. What's going on for Aquarius? Please show me a reading for Aquarius. Aqua. The moon. Is it clear? It's the lighting. Oh, there we go. Is this clear? Yeah, that's how you can see. Noted. Aquarius, this is an energy that is uncomfortable for most people, but it's especially uncomfortable for you. Because not only that it's emotional, you're gonna be like, I'm fine with emotions. Okay. But I'm saying it's not only that it's emotional, it's it's the emotion of the emotion of the emotions, like multi layers of emotions that cover each other up. Like you feel something very difficult or traumatic, and then you utilize another form of another sentiment, another feeling to cover it up so you could feel better. It's a mechanism of defense. And then, but that one has its issues in them and of themselves. And then you use another one as a mechanism, another one. And the moon is kind of almost like creates a crack in in that, you know, mechanism of layers. It's like, like when you cut an onion in the middle? So you cut through all the layers and then it gets split, right? And then you see all of it right in front of you. You don't need to peel it. You just have it right in front of you. It's like maybe something recently happened that felt like a cut of the onion right in the middle, where it's the emotional layers of you, where you look at it, all these layers, like just right in front of you, not hiding, not a journey to get to them. It's just in your face and it's overwhelming, right? And it makes you feel like you've been missing out on some things within you. And you're like, how is that possible? I'm Aquarius. I'm aware. Aquarius is the I know, right? How is it possible that I don't know something within me that is so obvious and I'm supposed to be aware of? And I think that that bewilderment is even more challenging to you than the actual layers that are unfolding in front of you. So there's a calling to address those layers, of course, inevitably, but also to address your reaction to it. Okay, why does it bother you so much that you have underlying layers that you weren't aware of? It's a very human thing. We all have those. Why are you so shooken by it, shooketh, and surprised? Some Aquarians, it's an aspect of spiritual vanity, thinking that you've done all the work there is to do, or at least a very major portion of it, and that you are so incredibly conscientious to yourself, and this could be a blow to the ego, and that's okay too. Um, Others of you, no, that's just what it is. I'm trying to come up with another reason to it, so it's not just spiritual vanity. But that's just a reason, possible one. Maybe you can think of another reason and enlighten us in the comments. That's perfectly fine. these are general readings. I don't know every single one of you. It's okay. So let us know if you feel like there's something else behind it. Okay, so that's what's happening. And now here comes the Queen of Wands. Cancer, Leo, July, August. It's going to start with what I just described, and it's going to be emotionally distraught, bewildering. But then with this energy of the Queen of Wands, it's almost like, okay, I got this. I got this. I'm going to just put some light into it, put some warmth into it, creativity. I'm going to maybe create to get um, to the bottom of this, artistic therapy sort of thing, or I'm going to reinvent myself and go out, just as long as you're not utilizing everything I just said in reference to the Queen of Wands as escape, rather as means to cope, but truly cope, not escape cope. Yes, you can have fun with it. Yes, you can create from it. Yes, you can transmute it into power and charisma and creativity and energy and life force. 100%. There's a reason why Leo comes right after Cancer. But the key to this is transmutation of the energy of the moon into the Queen of Wands, as opposed to denying the energy of the moon, suppressing it, and putting on a facade of a Queen of Wands, even to yourself. I feel like a lot of confusion in relation to, well, who am I? What do I stand for? Who am I? What am I? Like it's existential questions about the nature of the self. And then 10 of Wands, and it's a lot because you thought you had it covered. You thought you had it figured out. And it's like becoming, it's almost like this is how many subconscious troublesome layers you thought you had to your subconscious. Okay, one wand, and then you realize you cut the onion in half, and then you realize it's actually 10 layers. So the work is like doubled by 10, right? Not doubled, like grows by 10 times 10. I can do this. I can say it. And suddenly something that you thought that you just had it easy becomes overwhelming. One layer at a time. One wand at a time. Ace of Cups. And practice self-love and self-forgiving and kindness, and be tolerant and patient with yourself. This is a healing process. It's okay. Showing more for gold. Here comes Four of Swords. You need to take time, Aqua. Don't try to put on the Queen of Wands archetype and just go out there and eat the world and show them that you know better. Don't. It's not going to help you. It's only going to make matters more challenging. The only way out is in. Just dive into the mental rest, and observation. And it doesn't have to be mathematical analytic observation. It could just be giving your brain some rest and letting it kind of process the newfound realizations of the self, you know. I think the full moon in Sagittarius coming June 3rd. I don't know when you're watching this. Maybe you're watching this way in the future, because these do have a timeless theme to them, these readings. But if you're watching this when I'm recording it, the full moon in Sagittarius might bring about the need to take a moment, you know. Technically, it's in your 11th house of society and other people, but I wouldn't take it to a party place, not in this reading, not in this case. I think it would be more healthy for you to take things easy and take a moment and allow yourself to rest. King of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, and the Lovers. So this is about another person in your life. It's a relational thing. Could be someone you're working with, someone you have some sort of cooperation with, um, where you reach a crossroad, a moment where you need to decipher um, where things are heading to and how, whether to invest in that or not. This is something that if you invest in it, it requires um, committed investment for the long haul, because there's an aspect of internship here, like working and investing and putting in effort without necessarily seeing immediate results, right? This is about like the long game with the Lovers. This is about life path. This is about um, creating what, creating a destiny, um, following one's higher self. And it's something that you want to come able to soak what needs to be soaked. So if you're carrying all these onion layers that you're like, no, I don't need to know about them. I don't need to work on them. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's gonna come back and burden you on this path, right? It's going to affect your decisions, your state of mind, your perspective on things. It will influence things. So you want to be as light-minded as possible to give yourself a chance to do this properly, right? Because this will require a balanced relational behavior that comes with awareness, self-awareness. So maybe this is an opportunity, how we started this reading, like Spirit has created this catalytic event or situation for you to finally see yourself, you know, for whatever it is. I'm sure you're beautiful. This is not, I'm not saying this in a negative way, but just to see yourself truly, a know thyself type of thing, so that you are best equipped and best suited for this path that you might be choosing. Sorry, I'm just fixing myself. Show me more, please, Grandpa. Ace of Pentacles. This is going to be really worth it. This is something that you finally get to solidify yourself as yourself. You know, when we're fragmented and the different aspects of ourselves that are fragmented, each of them kind of develop or puts on more layers that are based in that fragmented aspects of itself. And so it's like think of a puzzle that is being um, broken down, and then each of the pieces feels, scattered and unattached and floating in the unknown. So it starts wearing layers and layers of things that it can catch onto that aren't necessarily a fit to it, but it's to fill up a void, right? It's to cover the feeling of like floating in with no true connection to the self. And then when those pieces try to come back together, it's completely crooked because the pieces of the puzzle aren't as shaped as themselves. So they can't match anymore, right? So this merges perfectly, like two pieces of a puzzle. But if I put like tons of gloves on this one and wrap this one with scarves, it will no longer connect. So first, there needs to be um, it's an alchemical process. First, there needs to be a breakdown, because you've already built yourself. You've already restructured the pieces of the puzzle into allegedly one wholesome self, but it was like one piece of puzzle was full of gloves, another was full of this, and it wasn't really matching, so you kind of forced it. So this sense of self that you had wasn't really you. It was like this covered up, unnatural sense of you that you weren't even aware of. And so, in order to peel all these fake layers or unnecessary layers off the fragmented pieces that are authentically a part of you, first you had to be um, broken down for that sake. And then working on cleaning each piece of that puzzle, each piece of that fragmented self, and clearing it from things that are not in alignment with it and aren't it anymore. And I'm talking about you, aspects within you. I'm not putting this on people outside of you. This is not about getting rid of people. This is about aspects of yourself. I'm insisting on it because some of you are trying to put it on other people. Oh yeah, I should have gotten rid of that person. Oh yeah, I should have. Maybe, but that's not the case. That's not the essence of this. Because if you'll put it on, oh, it's okay, I already got rid of this person and that person, and then you'll be like, okay, I'm fine, I already did the work. But no, the work is on aspects of you, right? And once you shed the dead skin that you were holding on to because you felt like it gives you either power or cover or anything really, then when the pieces of the puzzle of you return to their original state, then you can redo the puzzle of you and become wholesome as who you are truly. This is a deep reading. And once that happens, you're so quickly set on your path because your path can only contain someone who's in alignment with it. And as long as you weren't in alignment with who you are, you weren't in alignment with your path. And as you become in alignment with who you are, whatever the case may be, then this path will open up to you with ease. You won't have to search for it. You won't have to wonder. It won't be a riddle. It will just be right in front of you. You'll have the signs, you'll have the time, you'll have the place. It will be clear. It will be an easy walk. And it will get you to your place. Anything else for Aquarius, please? Wonderful. Another Ace of Wands. So there's this really powerful new start that comes from who you are truly and what it is that you desire and your genuine, clear will and ambition and dream that are based on your nature, you know? You've had dreams that are not based in your nature, which is why they didn't come through. But as soon as you base your dreams and you follow them, those dreams that are based on your nature, okay, as soon as the bird is like, okay, I'm done trying to act like a shark, a bird that has been trying to act like a shark for its entire life, and it constantly failed because it's not a shark and it's not supposed to be a shark. And its own higher self didn't choose to come here. If its own higher self wanted to be a shark, you wouldn't have come here as a bird, you would have come here as a shark. So if you align your dream with your nature, now the bird is trying to fly because it hasn't even tried to fly. Because it was like, I'm not a bird, I'm a shark. So it doesn't know how to fly. It doesn't know how to do what it does so well. So now that you realize who you are, because there's a major ego shed here. Major ego shed on this table. But once that happens and you find yourself, you fly. And then it works, it succeeds, it's effortless. No resistance. Great new beginning. Very exciting. Magician, but it kind of felt like this. Don't overdo it. Don't let the ego come back and be like, oh my God, it's working. And then like, let nature run its course. Let your blood flow through your veins. Let your heart pump. Let your lungs take in, take out. Magistry isn't about distorting the element. It is about knowing how to work with the elements. It's not about defeating the elements, not about being stronger than the elements. It's about knowing, understanding the elements, understanding the self, and knowing how to work with them. Then you manifest. But when you try to defeat nature, nature will defeat you because you didn't come here to defeat nature. Nature is glorious. It doesn't seek to be defeated. The divine consciousness and source creation doesn't seek to defeat it. Yes, evolution, of course, we all evolve all the time. But in order for us to evolve within our nature, we got to start in our nature. And again, the only way out is in. Evolve through our nature, not outside of it. There's a rhyme to everything. The last four or five cards show us remind us how talented you are. The Lovers, the Magician, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. You can do it all. But not from a place of vanity that tries to do everything it's not supposed to do just for the sake of proving to yourself that you can. That's not being invincible. That's not being divine. That's being a tyrant, vain tyrant. I'm sorry. And the reason I'm harsh on you is because you can do amazing and you're not a vain tyrant in your heart. But some of you have allowed yourself to go there in your personal life. I'm not talking like, you know. But here you are completely shedding that bullshit with the last few cards on the table, completely shedding that bullshit, owning life, honoring life. Listen, you can't change society by constantly testing it. You know, they won't listen to you. They won't listen to you. But when you honor them for who they are, for what they are, then they'll listen to you. Because if you constantly try to shape them into something you want them to be or you think they should be, not only that they will resist naturally, you know, they're a free spirit and they have their own nature and they have their own sense of self. You're not here to shape people into what it is you think they need to be. So when you don't do that and they can blossom as they are, then all the creation and all the success and all the manifestation comes through so easy because it's in flow. The reason a lotus blossoms in the mud isn't because it's a miracle that somehow a lotus manages to blossom in the mud. Lotuses are built in that way. It's the best environment for them. It seems completely contradictory, you know, to keep your light in the darkness, to keep your beauty within the mud. So you think, you know, oh, the lotus deserves to be outside of the mud, or the lotus needs to operate in a different way that isn't as muddy. But then if it operates in a different way that isn't as muddy, it's no longer a lotus. And you don't get the benefit that you get from that lotus. You want something that doesn't blossom in the mud? Go get a sunflower. Hey, Lotus, I love that you're a Lotus. Can you come be a Lotus? But just here's the thing. I don't like the way you grow. I don't like the way you operate. I don't like anything about you that makes you a Lotus. So can you change all that but stay a Lotus? What? You're better than that, Aqua. You're better than being that unwise. And I see a wake-up call, a very like rude wake-up call that you're either enduring now or have endured recently, because these are the first card in the reading. It's how we begin the reading that leads to all of this. It's okay if someone sliced your onion into half so that you can see all the layers. They did you a solid. I love you guys so much. You're amazing. That's why I'm harsh on you. Stay magic. Stay true. And now let's move to Pisces. 26 minutes. Okay. Hi, Pisces seekers. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Let's clear the energy. Let's clear the table. How are you doing? How are you feeling, Pisces? You okay? Oh, you're a tough Pisces. You're good. Okay. Okay, I see. I see. It's okay. Hermit in the reverse. Well, tough or not tough, you're overdoing it. You've been solitary, you've been recluse. It served you to a certain degree. Um, Now it's time to step out of it. You have done that. Now it's just kind of Nine of Swords. It's going into the depression as opposed to, like, this is the opposite of Aquarius, right? With the reading that we just had for them. You're overly aware of your multi-layers and you're too harsh on yourself and you're taking too much time to be in that shadow, in that dark night of the soul. And you know, I'm the first person to encourage my seekers to go into the dark night of the soul, because many people avoid it and run away from it. You're not. You're brave. This requires a lot of bravery, what I'm seeing here. But it's too much now. You've become entangled in the cycle of shadow work and darkness. Indeed, there are shadows, but indeed, there are also bright, bright lights. Look at that. This is time. No time like the present to set yourself free. To see all the possibilities. The only way from here is up. Look at this as like a clean slate, a white canvas where you can just paint a new painting, write a new story. It can be so exciting. The star. Open yourself back up to the world. Do something creative. Connect with creative, like-minded people. Take a trip to a weird place that you've always wanted to visit and never got a chance. Take a road trip, you know? Do something that is based in faith and hope and creativity. It doesn't have to make sense, but do it. Feed and nourish your soul and your heart. You've grieved enough. You've pained enough. Now you're free. No more pain. I'm hearing no more pain. So maybe you've been bound to maybe an illness or something of that sort, and now you feel elevated or soon about to feel elevated, and it's like renewed. Knight of Cups. Go there. Do it. Say yes to the invitation. Make that invitation. I see love coming in. There's so much love. This is incredible. And then bottom of the deck, Ten of Cups. There's so much love on the table. Maybe you have a really great support system, family, lover. I see true love energy here, like very rare. Seven of Wands. Hierophant and Ace of Pentacles. Three of Wands, Knight of Swords, and Three of Swords. Can we focus this damn camera already? If it's not like a complete bright light outdoors from a window or something, then it's just the lighting is... Sorry. I need a better camera, better lighting. I don't know. It's frustrating. I need my space to film, you know? I need my nook with great lighting, perfect tape. I just need my nook to film already. This is like changing, constantly changing where I film. Sorry, sudden, it's not helpful. Sorry, Pisces. Thank you for the patience. Okay, this is very interesting. So, you're in this commitment, family, community, marriage, relationship, very strong group of friends, whatever the case may be. Okay, you're in there. And you come to it from a very loving, pure place, an honest and sincere place. But suddenly, things starting to rear their ugly head and show themselves and compete over weird things and say snappy remarks that are not in place and express um, a level of resentment that you don't understand where it's coming from. And you're like, I thought we were doing good. I thought we have a good direction. I was in my world for a little bit, in my mind space for a little bit. I was going through this and that, and I thought I'll be coming back to the same place, but things have changed during this time. The tower, there was this destabilizing force that broke down or is breaking down the foundations and creating mayhem and distraught. Someone just wreaks havoc. They don't like it when things are so peaceful. But the thing is, in order for that to catch, in order for that, in order for these flames to grow into a wildfire, there has to be flames in the first place. So there, it's something that has existed in this situation, but maybe has been buried or not addressed or um, covered. So in a way, it's bringing up to the surface something that needs to be brought up to the surface. Just the way it's happening feels very chaotic and unpleasant, to be honest. There is a breakdown in a structure. Maybe someone is just not ready to a certain level of commitment or maturity or even love. You know, it's just that they're not in that phase of their journey. They're not in a time in their life where they can actually appreciate it or value it or understand it. Or maybe their soul needs something different at the moment, so it rebels. The Death card. There's something very shocking and very sudden happening that leads to a complete change. And I think you've been picking up on it. You've been sensing it. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to get over it. I'm going to give it another chance. I'm going to give it my all and see. Maybe it's a relationship with someone that things have been really off for a while, and then they come back or they ask for another chance or to try again, and they express maturity and they express love and they express I'm ready, but then the same things start coming out again. Their own soul is rebelling against this connection. I'm sorry, I know it's hard to hear. Their own soul is rebelling against this connection and making them do things that they themselves don't understand why they do them. God forbid, I am never excusing if, God forbid, you're suffering from someone who is being aggressive with you or violent with you. I'm not excusing it. And that's not the case. That's not something that I'm trying to give like validity for. But aside from that, change needs to happen in this dynamic or in this situation or in this place. Something's got to give. It can no longer hold. It's been holding based on an idea, an ideology, on societal expectation, on a set of values that you or them or the both of you have grew up on. But it doesn't fit the dynamic between the two of you, and it will break down. I'm sorry. But, it's because it's not meant to be. I'm so sorry. I know it's hard to hear. Like this is very finite. Like it's not. So what's next for Pisces? Okay, so this is over. Six of Swords. Taking some time out, not for, beating yourself up or being depressed or being sad alone. No, so some time out just to replenish, to recover, to, maybe take a vacation. I said it in the beginning, so this could strengthen it. Maybe take a little vacation, a little road trip, a little travel, a spa, a weekend. I don't know. Just take your time and don't even figure anything out. Just rest and revitalize for the next step of the journey, which can be very exciting. Six of Wands and the High Priestess. That's beautiful. Mysteriously, serendipitously, and mystically, are those even words? Guided to something that can make you feel really, really belong and victorious. Beautiful. Okay, Pisces, thank you. Stay magic, stay true. I love you. 38 minutes and 15 seconds. Now we're going to Aries. Hi, Aries seekers. This is a reading for Aries seekers. Let's see. What's going on with my Aries? Aries people. Reading for Aries, please. You start like Aquarius with the moon. Where can you see clearly? There we go. I want to make this perfect for you guys. I want to have good lighting. I want to have good everything. I want this to not constantly be a struggle of where I place the camera and what is the light and where do I sit, and like every time it's different, and it's like it just takes so much unnecessary energy from the work. Expressing the moon card right here. Aquarius started the same way, but it's different for you. What's going on for Aries? What is this moon card for Aries? Very different for you. Ah, the secrets of life, the mysteries, the unknown, the occult, the esoteric, the magic with a K. So much to discover, so much to learn. Where does it start and where does it end? What do I read first? What do I practice first? There's no right and wrong. It's very subjective. It's a subjective journey, and you start with what you're lured to, with what you are excited about knowing, and you let it unfold. One book at a time, one practice at a time, one philosophy at a time, one revelation that you experience at a time. There's some deep intuition here, psychic energy. The moon and the high priestess, there's something hidden, unknown, but so full and overwhelmingly enticing. The high priestess holds the Torah. See here, Torah, can read. And she has her foot on a moon. Boaz and Yoachin. The poles of polarities, right? We have these two structures here and here. But she owns it. She understands it. She knows how to work with all these chaotic energy. It's chaos magic for her. But here in the moon, it's just chaos and confusion. So I feel like some of you maybe are like, maybe you're new to this world. Maybe you're starting to dive into this world, and it's like every door leads to another infinite amount of doors, and it's like endless. The point is to get lost in it. You're not meant to find anything, definitely not at the moment. You're supposed to get lost and let things come to you. What wants to come to you? Is it the tarot? Is it numerology? Is it astrology? Is it mediumship? Is it the runes? Is it source itself? Is it Mother Nature and the fairies? Is it the elements? Maybe it's fire that wants to come to you. Maybe it's water. Maybe it's earth. Maybe it's air. Maybe it's ether. Maybe you're going through the alchemical process, the 7 stages of the alchemist. And it's terrifying. This is a terrifying energy, just to be clear. Just to be clear, it's a very overwhelming, scary energy. The high priestess here is like, it's Persephone, the goddess, the queen of the underworld, right, who rules the dead. But then that's just for 6 months. For the remaining 6 months, she goes back up and hangs out with her mother Demeter and rules the kingdom of the living and everything that blossoms. She's a goddess of life and death. How are you a goddess of life and death? How is it? It's like not something you can even comprehend. It's so much to grasp, and you're trying to grasp it, and you're just gonna get more. It's gonna pain you more. Nothing to grasp, nothing to hold. Just one step at a time, one door at a time, and let it call you, let it lure you. And allow yourself to be lured. That's the most important thing. Let yourself be lured. Let yourself be invited and say yes to these invitations. And does it mean it will all go well and safe? Absolutely not. This is a very, very intense journey that is coming through in the first 2 cards, right? It's not going to be all safe and lovely. It's going to be dangerous at times. It's going to be scary at times. It's going to feel like one big mistake. It's going to be hurtful at times. You're going to experience loss. You're going to experience fear. You're going to experience confusion. And sometimes you're going to experience elevation and hope and joy and inspiration. Like it will vary. And you won't know until you step through that door. And spirit won't guide you and tell you this will be fun and this will not be fun, this will be good and this will be bad. This is where spirit abandons you. When you go on this search, it's where spirit abandons you purposefully, because you're supposed to become that spirit that guides others, that others pray to. You got to go through the motions and understand the path. Now, it's not to say that there are no guides. Maybe there's a teacher, maybe there's a mentor, maybe there's a book, maybe there's a philosophy, maybe there's a school. But they're not going to tell you what to do. And they're definitely not going to force you to learn something or tell you this is the best thing for you to learn. Maybe. Who is this mysterious person in the shadows? What's going on here for Aries? This is a very interesting reading. Three of Cups? Are you kidding me? You know what this is? This is like it's like a speakeasy, right? So the Three of Cups, it's the I'm sitting on a cushion that keeps making sounds. The Three of Cups is like the main door to the first floor, right? It's not really the speakeasy itself. It's just the front man. The most people would stop there, and they think that that's the bar. And then there's a secret door that leads to the actual speakeasy. Or this could be like a mystery school, and this is just a public event. You just get a very like surface level introduction to something that is way deeper than that you've got to be invited to. This is what it is. This is a person that seems lighthearted and fun and silly and cute, but they, but underneath all this cuteness, like what the flying fox. This is the girl next door that turns out to be a vampire. You know, it's one of those things. It's kind of fun. I like this reading. Queen of Swords, Page of Swords. Okay, focus on the academic, analytical, cognitive study aspect of things. I feel like it will be very helpful for a lot of you out there who are like bewildered and are not yet ready for the gut-wrenching, energetic experience. So start with the books. Start with reading, with knowing, or at least receiving the illusion that you know. It will give you a sense of, although fake confidence, yet still sense of confidence, and it's psychosomatic, right? You will feel more confident and will help you venture into deeper things. So have the conversations, read the books, read the articles, watch the videos. Learn. Emperor, Wheel of Fortune, the Sun. We have the Sun and we have the Moon on the table. Just saying. There's parental aspect to this. I don't know if your parents are somehow involved um, in this process, or if you're a parent, or if it's energies that take the form of like a parental energy or a mentor or a guide, someone or something to look up to. I see like some of you are studying astrology, studying the nature of the cosmos. And it starts changing your life. It starts really, really changing your life, but for the better. It shines a light on the different mechanism within you, what makes you tick, and how you convey with the universe, right? Or with God or whatever. And you understand how a lot of the things in you that you thought were yours are actually your own father's inner voice that is like your inner voice, your parents, right? And you start shedding those voices, not because there's anything wrong with your parents or with their voices, but it's because You're not supposed to walk their path anymore. You're supposed to walk the path of your soul, right? Most people I will tell them that it's important to line up with their ancestry line and know themselves and where they come from and honor that. And I still I always think that, but specifically with venturing to like an alchemical journey, right? Shamanic journey. It's where you're guided to do the opposite, to extract the wisdom, but to in no way, shape, or form be dependent um, or defined by it. Not from a place of rebellion or disrespect, but simply from a place of, okay, what is my soul here to do or can be here to do? Because you can transform your path, you can change your fate, you can move out of the dharma of the karmic wheel into dharma. You can. It's hard as F. You have a lot of people talking about it, and they're not wrong when they say that it's possible, but they are wrong in the way they approach it when it comes to like thinking that anyone can do it. Anyone has the potential of doing it, yes, but also no, because it requires so much devotion and so much sacrifice and so much shedding of any sense of identity or self that you've had. So as a bird, it's not that you're going to stop flying because you don't see yourself as a bird anymore, right? You will still fly, but maybe you'll find a way to transform yourself into a bird that can also dive, right? Or instead of a bird, an eagle, right? There's most people, if they go about that, they burn. It's almost like that's why I don't believe in saying that to most people, even though, yes, it's possible, but it's also not. It's almost like, okay, think about fire transiting through a hose. Now, if it's a metal hose, it might get hot, but the fire will still transfer through the hose. However, if the hose is made of paper, the fire won't get a second further and the paper will not last. It will burn completely, right? So the same applies to say Kundalini awakening, right? If your chakras are awakened completely and there's an absolute, you know, Kundalini awakening in your spine of all the energy of that fire, and your system, this avatar, your person that you are, can't contain it, can't hold all that energy that is so far and beyond this physical existence. If you don't also have these, energetic ethereal layers to that paper hose of yours to contain it, it will burn you down. So this process of like the moon, the high priestess, page of swords, queen of swords, this is you creating a proper hose to the system, strengthening your system, learning, understanding how to work with energy, have a very strong moral, spiritual, energetic backbone. Be unflinching in the face of danger and fear. Not because you don't experience fear, that's ridiculous. We all experience fear because it's an alert of danger. It's good to know how to listen to fear when it's alerting you and you know when to listen to it and when not to listen. That's also a part of this journey and what you're learning. But once you do that, this is what happens. You become the master of your own fate, which is completely contradictory to the essence of fate, because the whole point is that it happens to us and we don't have control over it, right? But it happens to our avatar, not to our soul. Our soul determined the fate of this life, of this incarnation. Okay? For varied reason, it chose the fate. But if you've accelerated the karmic process and you've accelerated the learning process because you became not because you skipped stages, not because you wanted to go all fast and you skipped stages, you didn't flinch, you just went in again and again and again and again with the fun and with the pain. You just win it. Then you can get there faster, and then you break out from the karmic wheel, from the fated wheel, and you just become the lord of your own life, and you manifest and you succeed, and that's wonderful. So I see a lot of you Aries are in a very magical process, and I'm very proud of you, and I wish you a lot of success. Like I'm picking up, like I'm dealing with like advanced like shifters, you know. Anything else, maybe more mundane to say to Aries? Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. Say yes to opportunities and venture after the air element of study, venture into the earth element of building and creating and sensing. You know, the Taurus energy of like of the senses, of things you don't, it's not about studying them or reading about them, it's about touching them and feeling them and actually understanding the matter from an experimental place. And find home base. This is very important, to have a home base where you go back to, you venture away from, and then you go back to. Venture away from, and then go back to. It can also be a person that makes you feel sane and belonged in the world, right? Okay, Aries, thank you so much for being here. Everyone, if you're still around, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, if you've enjoyed this, this has inspired you, guided you, helped you, entertained you in any way, be sure to give this the like. If you're new, be sure to subscribe. Again, if that has helped you and you want more shift, Tarot Masterclass Bunkai is available on Vimeo, link below, where you can study tarot. And if you want to book a session with me, private session with me, or a group online session, check out also link below, the existentialshift.as.me. Stay magic, stay true. I love you.